All right. Welcome, everybody, to the third episode of the Don't Overthink It podcast. Got my guy, Darian Chill, here today with me. ChillTakes, my co-host.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to the show, man. What an interesting week of NFL playoff matchups that we had. I mean, I said this earlier when you came over. This is the best weekend of NFL football I've ever watched in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
In our young, I'm about to be 21 next month. How old are you?
I'm 24.
24?
Yeah, bro.
How am I just... This man's 24. I didn't...
Don't do that.
Okay. Point is, though, in our young lifetime, because we're both hella young still, that was the best weekend of NFL football I've ever watched in my life. I mean, just... You can't script that stuff up again.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we're got some interesting topics that we're going to be talking about today. Got the NBA All-Star selections both in the East and Western Conference. So when we're recording this video, today's January 25th, but the All-Star selections are going to come out in the evening of January 27th, so this Thursday. So you guys will be hearing this podcast actually Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon at some time, though. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be predicting the All-Star starters in both the East and West. Then we're going to talk about the NFL playoffs and which happened this weekend in the divisional round. We'll be talking about all four games. And then to end the show off, we'll briefly be talking about the conference championship games in both the AFC and in the NFC as well. Mm-hmm. So let's just jump right ship into this. We're going to start with the NBA first and talk about our all-star selections. Darian, my co-host, I want you to go first, man. I want you to talk to me about your guys in the West and in the Eastern Conference first and foremost.
Yeah, man. The All-Star weekend is coming. That means basketball is about to start mattering again. So everybody can stop saying it's January, December, whatever. Basketball is about to start mattering again, so I'm excited about that. But for the West side, let me see this real quick.
You got it.
So for my positions, I try to do it traditional as possible, but with the whole new NBA, new era,
Yeah, it's weird with the whole, captains and everything like that, too. But
and also with, the player flexibility, how, you're just now starting to see traditional centers in there. At one point, it was strictly, forwards and guards and stuff like that. So, for the West, I have Steph Curry as my one. I think he's had a very good season, even though he's in a slump right now. Overall, he's, the second best record in the league with the Warriors. He's playing solid basketball, in my opinion. He's still top 10 in the MVP race, and I know he can get it turned up towards the end of the season. At my two guard, I have Morant. I think Josh had an excellent year, man. I mean, they're fourth in the West right now, third.
They're fourth, just I think a game above Utah right now.
Yeah,
had some injuries.
Yeah, so they're fourth in the West. I got a take about Ja.
What's up?
I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with this.
He's never said this. This is my first time hearing this.
I think he's light years ahead of Zion, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, the only concern I had about Zion coming in was just his weight. Otherwise, when he's on the court, Zion's an absolute dominant monster.
He's a beast, but
Ja's on another level.
Yeah, I think it might be recency bias, man, but
it's not. It's
Ja is carrying these boys. I mean, they're a talented team, but without Ja, I don't think they go far.
They're a lottery team, yeah.
Yeah, this team is potentially, as of right now, I mean, if they can really cause an issue to a lot of NBA teams, bro. I think they can be a Western Conference team. Maybe.
I'm selling. I'm not buying in.
Yeah, because I feel you, because they're young. It looks fun in the regular season, but 7-game series in the playoffs against veteran teams like the Lakers, the Warriors, the Jazz, the Suns. Then that's when you really start to show your true colors. But maybe it might be far-fetched, but Ja, he's that dude.
We can talk about that definitely towards the latter part of the season once we start seeing teams really pick it back up.
Yeah, because they might fall off. Who knows? But at my 3 spot, I have Air Canada himself, draft day, Andrew Wiggins making his first All-Star appearance. Now, I say this because guys like Paul George, he's hurt. He's been hurt for almost 2 months now, right? Roughly.
He's about to have that elbow surgery too. He's considering it.
Yeah. Luka is just within the last 2 weeks has been playing better. Right? He was injured.
Mavs have been picking it up
lately. But this is going off in the full first half of the season.
Correct.
And Andrew Wiggins has been a more consistent player since game 10. After that dunk against the Minnesota Timberwolves, when he dunked on Cat twice, dropped 35. He's been on a tear. I think he's been shooting a career high field goal wise, definitely from the 3. And he's been the most consistent Warrior, to be honest, in the last month or so.
He has been.
So I gotta go Wiggins, man. And he shoots a team high, on a 3-point percent. He shoots a better percentage than Curry right now. So I gotta go Wiggins at a 3, man. So
okay.
At 4, I have LeBron. LeBron's been amazing this season. He talked about in an interview. He said that he is like the most locked in and the most like he's felt like the most confident in his offensive game since he's been in the league.
And they still a game under 500. Says a lot, doesn't it?
Well, that goes on to, like I said,
that's a whole different.
That just goes into what's the man, Rob Pelinka?
Rob Pelinka, yeah,
just going all in on a sorry trash Russell Westbrook because he's been pathetic this season. I mean, he's been terrible. Like you saw the game against the Magic.
Oh my!
He shot the ball at the top of the.
I live streamed that game. It was just man,
Russ. Anyways, but yeah, I got LeBron at 4. He's averaging like 29 this year, the most points since like
crazy.
21 years old, something like that.
He's right back at 36% from deep too, so he's right back where his career average is too.
He's shooting like a high clip.
He's 52% from the field.
Yeah, he's shooting like at least about 5 to 6 threes a game. That's not.
No, I think it's at 7-8 now.
Really?
It's his career high in 8 and 3-point attempts.
Oh yeah, LeBron. Yeah. He feeling confident. That's what you need. A confident LeBron's a very dangerous LeBron. So, the last time we seen a real confident LeBron, the bubble, and also 2018, his last year at the Cavs when he single-handedly carried the Cavs to the championship. But anyways, at 5, I have the Joker. Arguably the best center in the league. The Nuggets are kind of
the best center.
Joel, boy.
Joel ain't the best center. Jokic's the best center.
Joel, man.
Jokic's the best center.
But yeah, Jokic is the best center. But he's been doing a good thing with the Nuggets. Now they haven't been winning as consistent, but you know he's like
no Michael Porter, no Jamal Murray. Like cut him some slack.
And it's something today to say that he's going to have like an NBA record in his PPR.
No, his player efficiency ratings at a 33. The highest ever was 32.1 by Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay,
in 1961. Correct. If the season ended today, he would have the highest player efficiency rating ever in NBA history.
Yeah, that's insane.
NBA history.
That's insane.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my West, man. Those are all good.
Let me hear your
East. East. I got the Chicago backcourt. I have Levine and DeMar. I think Zach LaVine has been on a tear this season. I know he got hurt against the Warriors like 2 weeks ago, I believe. I think like a knee injury, but he should be coming back. DeMar, we all know.
Yeah, he didn't play versus the Magic.
Yeah, he's been out for a couple games, but DeMar has been playing excellent. And this is why I say Levine, because I don't think this team can make it far without him.
Oh no!
You see how
he needs to be that bucket getter from deep.
Yeah, he needs to be that guy. So
hey, shout out to Zach LaVine's wife though. She bad as fuck. Just wanted to say that real quick.
I don't even know what she
just wanted
like.
to say that real quick.
Yeah, pretty sure she is. But DeMar has been hooping. Yeah, man. I mean, like a lot of people try to write him off, man. They said that he wasn't that dude.
Yeah, no, they said he was the worst free agent signing.
Yeah, man, like
he's in the MVP conversation,
right, bro?
Like,
and they're right now like teetering between a second and third seed. They're gonna make it to the postseason. I already know.
Oh, absolutely.
So shout out to those two. At 3, I have the Slim Reaper, KD. I mean, unfortunately, he's hurt too, so I don't know if he's gonna play. But
I hate to cut you off real quick. This is Zach LaVine's girl.
Oh yeah, she looked good.
Yeah,
I've seen it. They've been together like since like sophomore year in high school.
I think high school too. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably cheated on her a few times though. But she's like, you know what I'm saying? She gets the ring, the lifestyle, so it don't matter.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. She's a millionaire in Chicago, bro.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
with a light skinned hooper getting max money.
She don't care.
Man, bro.
She winning.
She got the bag.
Yeah. But
sorry, you're saying Slim Reaper.
Slim Reaper KD, yes. I have him at my 3. Unfortunately, he got hurt a few weeks back as well. But he's been having a hell of a season. I mean, I think at one point he was averaging like 33, probably like 6.
He was the lead candidate before he went down.
Yeah, he was shooting like a 50. He was in the 50, 40, 90. You know, playing unbelievable ball. And then at 4, I have Finals MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, insane. But that team is a little weird to me.
Yeah, they are a little weird. But and then who do you got at 5?
At 5, I have Joel. Yeah. Joel's been playing excellent this year as well.
The second best center in the league, right? The second best? Nah, okay, that's a topic for
man, too, I don't know. He's the second best center, man. But it is so close, in my opinion.
It's really not.
Joel does everything besides playmake. He can do he can score. He can defend. But yes, Jokic is different. So
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go and talk about my starters in both the East and Western Conference as well too. Like we briefly said, it's a little tricky because this whole captain situation we always got going on in this new era of basketball. But if I'm just gonna go strictly based off the starters, me and him have pretty similar lists. We only have 2 guys that are different on our list. But on the West, in the backcourt, I've got Steph Curry and Ja Morant, both pretty, self-explanatory as to why they should be starting, even though Steph has fallen off a little bit. He's still Steph Curry. Morant, even though I love him in the Memphis Grizzlies, and I've already made a video talking about this on my YouTube, they're pretenders, and it's not anything against them. I understand they're like number one in defensive rating. They're number one in like defensive efficiency. I think rebounds, like point percentage. It's something like they are very good, but they're a young and scrappy team. They're not going to be a top elite team in the West in a 7-game series if teams are healthy. Mm-hmm. If a team is missing a player or two, they have a shot. They're going to be a tough out for anybody. I'll be very clear about that. They're a very tough out, but I think a healthy Denver, a healthy Utah, a healthy Golden State, a healthy Phoenix, they're not losing to Memphis. Morant will do his thing, but that's it. But Morant definitely deserves to be, starting in the West this year. That shouldn't even be a question. He had Andrew Wiggins of Andrew starting at the 3.
I never heard that before.
Oh, shout out Flight.
Wiggins of Andrew. That's
he's like,
funny.
hey, yo, Wiggins of Andrew. He's like Bazemore looking dude. This is last season.
That's the dude that says,
look at Curry, man.
Yeah,
so inspirational.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
He's funny.
He's like Thompson of Clay. He's like Poole of Jordan. And then he's like, I don't know. He got a bunch of different ones. But he had Wiggins of Andrew. I had Luka my nutsack, Luka Doncic, the man. Look, the Mavericks have been picking things up the past couple of weeks. The Mavericks have struggled, I would say, for a majority of the season. Luka definitely got off to a slower start to his standards, but I think he's still a 25, 8-8 guy right now. Luka's the bigger name. Luka is more of a transcendent superstar type player in this league. He's going to get the nod over Wiggins. Nothing against Wiggins, even though he's been more consistent this year for his role. At the 4, I've got LeBron James, top 3 player still in the game. I don't think he's the best anymore, but that's a topic for another day. LeBron should be starting at the 4, even though the Lakers are currently a game under 500 as we record this video. LeBron is still doing phenomenal things. 29 points per game, 52% from the field. We know who LeBron is. And then at the 5, I've got the best center in basketball, the Joker. I've already made a video talking about that and why he's better than Embiid. He's better than Embiid in literally everything. And even if you want to say defense, the advanced analytics still back up Jokic. I'll give people, and I'll say Embiid definitely better defensively. His presence felt, but to me, Jokic is the best center. Topic for another day. I could go on and on about that. Mm-hmm. Now on to the Eastern Conference. He had the Chicago backcourt in there with LaVine and DeMar. I actually had Harden and DeMar. I put LaVine on my bench, but we're not going to be getting into the bench. But the reason I put Harden in there is because he's damn near averaging a triple-double. Even though LaVine's doing phenomenal things, they're still a half game behind the number 1 seed in the Miami Heat currently. But also, James Harden, they were doing this majority of the season without Kyrie Irving. Right? I mean, you even saw it was like a week or two ago. He was joking around. He's like, oh, I'll put that shot in Kyrie's arm. He's sitting that in the press conference.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, it was hilarious. He was so like nonchalant about it. But James Harden, we know the type of player he is when he plays at the top of his game. Mm-hmm. I think Harden gets the nod over LaVine. DeMar's definitely going to get it because he's in the MVP conversation. That's why I have him in my backcourt as well. Then kind of moving into the front court, of course, I've got KD. Top 1 or 2 player in the game right now. That could be a whole nother debate as well. But KD's phenomenal. KD's one of the best players. I got KD at the 3. Giannis, finals MVP this past season. Giannis is terrific. It'd be between him and KD for me as to who the best basketball player is. We'll definitely see this postseason, especially if Kyrie's there or not. We'll see. Yeah. And then at 5, I've got the second best center in the NBA and Joel Embiid. Nothing against him. He's a phenomenal player. His last 13 games, he's been on an absolute tear. I actually kind of want to read off the numbers because I actually do have it in front of me. Joel Embiid's last 13 games, ladies and gentlemen, 40-13, 50-12, 32-8, 32-12, 25-13, 31-6, 31-8, 31-12, 31-5, 31-15-10 in a triple-double, 34-7, 36-11, 36-13. In that game where he had 50-12, he dropped 50-12 on my Orlando Magic in 27 minutes. Let's put that into its proper perspective. Joel Embiid, you are that man.
Oh, man, I don't know how you can say he's not the best, honestly.
Jokic better.
Jokic is a dog, man, but
but I give him that slight nod because I've also said weeks ago before Embiid was putting up these numbers in this 13-game streak I'm talking about, I had already made a video talking about why Jokic was MVP, and I still stick by it. Because I really give him the benefit of the doubt also with no Michael Porter, no Jamal Murray. That is a big... Y'all can talk about Ben Simmons all y'all want. The rest of that team is intact from last season's postseason. And nothing against Joel, but no Michael Porter, no Jamal Murray. Okay, come on, dog.
So
come on.
I hear this, right? And I get this, and I understand it, but this is what we literally saw with Steph last year.
Correct.
When
they got bounced by Ja.
In the play-in, yes. Now, if Jokic, because I think, they're 6th seed right now, 5th seed?
6th seed because they're a game behind. No, they're 7th seed because Dallas is, I think, a 6th seed right now. So let me double check real quick.
So this is going to be interesting to see how the NBA tries to view this whole like MVP to losing situation, because right now they are the where are they at? Oh, they're the 6th seed. They're the 6th seed right now. Yeah, so they're the 6th seed, and at this point in time last year, the Golden State Warriors are bouncing from 6 to 8 as well, 6 to 8 to 9 and all that stuff, right? But when Steph was doing all these miraculous things, dropping 40, dropping 60, dropping 50, having that crazy tear when he like had the most 30-point games since Kobe at the age of like 33 or something like that, he was in the MVP race, but he didn't win it. So if Jokic keeps up the same thing, and Steph didn't win it because it was a reflection of his team's performance, because I'm pretty sure if Steph was like at least the 3rd seed, they would have gave it to him.
I mean, I think if you take the definition way too literally, I mean, you put Gobert in the conversation if you took the definition so literally. But I'm not saying Gobert's MVP. I'm just saying if we took the term so literally, LeBron or KD would be the MVP every single year.
Facts.
But
winning matters.
Right. It does. Yeah. And that's why DeMar's in the MVP conversation, even though I don't think he's better than Joel or Jokic or any of these guys.
Now, the only thing going for Jokic is that he won it last year, and they love to give the MVPs to team players that won the previous year. So, to your point, yes, I think he is probably like top 3 at least in MVP. I don't think he's number 1.
He should be number 1. I've said this for weeks.
When it comes down to the analytics, for sure, but you gotta win. Now,
I get it,
do you think he should win it if they don't make it in?
They're going to be a play-in team at minimum.
Okay, if they make it a play-in team like Steph did last year, you think he should win it?
I think if he still keeps up these numbers and he finishes the season with the highest player efficiency rating in NBA history, on top of him damn near averaging a triple-double, like Jokic is. Let me.
If that's the case,
Jokic is averaging currently right now 26, 14, and 7.5, shooting 57% from the field, 37% from deep, and has a PER of 33. Last season in the playoffs, he averaged 30, 11, and 5. There is no Michael Porter. There is no Jamal Murray. He is carrying little Argentinian Capazzo on his back in carrying this team. And like I said, Joel's obviously the centerpiece of this team too, but that exact same 76ers team is intact from last season's postseason, except for Ben Simmons.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I give you that. No, I give you that. That wins you the Joel and the Jokic debate. Correct. But it goes back to like the whole like MVP. Like if Jokic can really reframe and restructure the MVP narrative, then I'm all for it, because I don't think it should always go to like the winning the best team in the NBA with the best players.
Yeah,
like people try to make a case for Chris Paul last year.
Josh should be in the conversation. Top 3 to 5 candidate. 3 to 5. He's not a top 2, but he's 3 to 5 candidate. He's right in that range.
You know who else deserves to be in it? I think what's the boy's name? Darius Garland. I think he should be in the conversation
Cleveland?
too. Yeah,
he's not. Look, he's balling this year.
Yeah,
I was high on him coming out too. Obviously Sexton, had his injuries too, but he's not a top 5 candidate. Let's just he's nice. Garland's nice.
I mean, what he's doing with the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. I mean, them boys are still winning. Yeah, they're like the 4th seed right now.
They damn near beat my healthy Jazz too earlier this year when we went to Quicken Loans.
They damn near beat us too.
They beat y'all too?
No, damn near beat us.
Oh, damn near beat. Yeah, I mean, no, they're tough out too.
Yeah, we beat them in Cleveland, and it was unfortunate, but they had to play us on Clay night, and we handled them.
That's what it was. So, that's what I remember now. Hey, shout out to Evan Mobley though, but you're not rookie of the year. My boy Franz Wagner is, so just keeping it real. But that's like I said, we'll talk about awards definitely another day too though. But we're gonna transition out of the NBA now. We're gonna get right into the NFL playoffs. I said it earlier. In my short lifetime, this is the best weekend of NFL football I've ever watched in my life, and that Bills And Chiefs game was the best football game I've ever watched in my life. You could talk about any Super Bowl, any regular season game, any playoff game. That was the best football game I've ever seen in my life. But we'll get to that one last because we'll save the best for last. We'll start in the NFC. Let's talk about Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers losing to the LA Rams 30-27. Give me your thoughts on that game. I just want to hear some takeaways.
Well, I'm glad Byron's on the market. Because he should be announced by tomorrow.
He should be.
I don't know if you heard, but...
I already put on Twitter the Jags signed him to a 5-year deal, so I'm calling it right now. But, like, my sources are in my head, so, yeah.
I think it's announced tomorrow.
Byron's going to be the coach. There's actually another report. There's actually another report that just came out, too.
Yeah, by Pro Football Network?
Yep.
And shout out to Dilla. He's like Jaguar Twitter, but he also mentioned something as well. Hold on.
Love how as soon as we talk about the NFC game, we just go straight to Jaguars.
Yeah, my bad. Because it says other stuff like it says this is from Jordan DeLigo. He's another media writer for the Jaguars. It says this is from Aaron Wilson.
Yep, that's the one I saw. Aaron Wilson.
Yeah, it says Leftwich, and this was reported at 8:23 p.m. On a Tuesday.
Yep, and it's 9:29 p.m. on a Tuesday right now.
So it's the most recent news. So it says Leftwich has been reaching out to potential staff members. Among the possible members of Leftwich staffs, Buccaneers outside linebacker coach Larry Foote and wide receivers coach Kevin Garver. Sounds like Byron will return to Duval and soon. And that bodes well for the receivers coach because I heard he's a good guy. And
Sanjay Lala, receivers coach right now, needs to go.
Yeah, so
horrible.
I think it's gonna be a clean sweep of staffs. It's gonna be a whole revamp. But you bring in someone like him, you might be able to get Chris Godwin in free agency
and Fireball Key.
Oh, for sure. But don't think it would happen though. But unfortunately, but anyways, back to the Buccaneers. I mean, very slow start, and you had it right. I mean, you said that Tom Brady would come out on a slow start.
Yeah, I said it last week in the podcast. He was going to have a horrible first half,
and he did
right on cue. Yep.
They could have moved the football. The defense kept them in the game as much as they could.
That second half.
And also that fumble before halftime. Antoine Winfield. He had a forced fumble
on Cam Akers.
He ripped Akers,
Yeah, it was at the 1 yard line.
It was like 20-3 going to halftime.
Yep, and it would have been 20. That would have been a wrap.
Yeah, it would have been
Akers would have scored that.
So yeah, the Buccaneers didn't get going to the third, end of the third, the fourth. I mean, it took them a long time to get going. It's unfortunate, but I think Brady is done, man. I think he's done.
I disagree, but that's we could debate about that another day.
Yeah, but I mean, shouts at the Rams, man. They locked in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they made an emphasis. The regular season wasn't a fluke. Yes, of course, the Buccaneers are down players. But, I mean, that defensive line was swarming. I mean, they were on Brady's head like every single
snap.
play.
Yeah, I mean, no Tristan Wirfs derailed them big time.
I don't think it was no Tristan Wirfs that hurt them. I honestly don't think.
I mean, because it was off the left tackle. I mean, because Von Miller was getting off the edge that way every time.
Yeah, but I don't think Wirfs would have made a big deal. Like, in my opinion, I feel like, because as you see, like, the game was about to flip. Like, they had a chance to execute. I mean, I think Brady was just out of his element. I mean, I don't think the slow start really derailed him. It really kind of.
Yeah, and I saw that coming versus a Rams defense like that.
You can't get behind a talented defense like that, and also offense that can put up points whenever. So, but yeah, like I said, shout out to the Rams. Matt Stafford, he's proving he's killing that narrative, man. I mean, he showed up. I mean, you saw what he said. Like
that deep ball was that proved it right there.
Yeah,
that proved it.
Yeah, I mean, he is out to get what's his. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get to the Super Bowl and win it for the city of LA.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Cooper Kupp. He had a magnificent day. Odell Beckham played good. Ramsey didn't play good. I'm not gonna hold you. Ramsey did not play good at all.
Hey, Mike Evans makes me happy.
Mike Evans
cooked that boy.
And I made a video about Mike Evans, and I said that he is a future Hall of Famer. He's underrated.
Oh, he absolutely is.
And people try to say, "Oh, he just barely gets over 1,000." You don't barely get over 1,000.
No, you 1,000-yard receiver
consistently.
Yeah, you're a good.
You're a dog.
Receiver. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And put it in perspective, we've never seen Jalen Ramsey get dogged like that in the last it's been a while.
I've definitely seen when he was in Jacksonville, D-Hop put numbers up on him. I don't know if he has in Arizona like that, but that's the only receiver I remember Ramsey in Jacksonville struggling against was D-Hop.
But
that was it.
But it didn't happen twice. You know,
no, it wouldn't happen twice in a season. It would happen maybe once a season. D-Hop would get his number
for sure. But we haven't seen it since then. Ramsey's been on a lockdown tear. Last year against Devontae Adams, he kind of struggled, but this was like a wake up call for him. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna bounce back. But anyway, so
I made sure to take this picture too.
He got dog. I mean, He got dog. But anyways,
Yeah.
Von Miller, hell of a pickup. He looked good.
Absolutely.
So
he's played great.
yeah, and then to the flip side of that, they almost blew it.
Yeah. Well, did you have the Rams winning? I think I had the Rams winning.
I had the Bucks winning.
I had the Rams winning. That's what it was. So, okay.
So, speaking on that real quick, just to tell of the fourth quarter, because I literally tweeted out, I said, why was that fourth quarter an instant classic? You know, it's like the whole momentum shift of football is so crazy, dog.
Yeah.
I mean,
one play, even if you're down 2 scores.
It literally, after that Von Miller, they fumbled the ball, right? I think Cooper Kupp fumbled the ball, something like that. They got the ball back. The Bucks couldn't move the ball, right? They couldn't convert on fourth down. The Rams got the ball after that, hiked it over the receiver quarterback's head.
Well, Brady fumbled it first, and then
Oh,
and it was literally the very next play. Stafford wasn't looking, and the ball went, 15, 20 yards
momentum
back.
was moving then, right? But the Buccaneers still couldn't convert.
Correct.
Then they got the ball back. Then Cooper Kupp fumbled, if I'm not mistaken.
There we go.
Then that's when momentum really started to change. They scored. The next possession, Cam Akers fumbles. They score again with playoff Lenny. And then it's like, what the hell? Like, the Rams really about to do this, but then, the Cooper Kupp thing. So, crazy game. Buccaneers, it's unfortunate for y'all, man, but Rams, man.
Yeah.
I can't really say the Rams are still a lock for the Super Bowl, though, but I'll let you get your takes.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it would be crazy, though, if the Rams did make the Super Bowl, because last year was the first year that we saw a team host the Super Bowl in their own stadium. And then it might happen again this year.
That's why folks think the NFL is scripted, dog.
Yeah, like really. But I do think that the Rams are going to lose to the 49ers this week. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But with this Bucks and Rams games, I did have the Rams winning. I had a feeling just all the injuries on offense from, Tyler Johnson ended up going out. And obviously no AB, no Godwin, no Tristan Wirfs, no Rojo. I almost said McKinnon. Giovanni Bernard and playoff Lenny did their thing. Obviously Mike Evans. Gronk was pretty limited to an extent. I mean,
old.
He was, nothing really. They were just doubling him, and something, not Josiah Scott, but I forget, something Scott.
I need somebody at the corner.
Yeah, he played a really good game on Gronk and defensively too, though. But, I had a feeling that, like I said, Brady was going to come out struggling just because of how elite that defense is. I knew he'd get it picking up in the second half, even though it kind of took a little bit longer than we all expected. But, you're right about the momentum. As soon as they got that first touchdown, I think they cut it, 10-27? And you're like, all right. You just knew Brady was going to come back. And sure enough, he came back because it was after he fumbled, and then, they got the fumble recovery right back. That's the most Brady-esque thing ever. Teams, they know when that momentum's shifting, even when they're up 3 scores. Yeah. And sure enough, it happened. I really thought that game was going to go to overtime until Matt Stafford hit that deep ball. But
same.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Matthew Stafford. All the adversity and all the stuff in Detroit. Finally getting his opportunity to shine. Yeah. Good for him. And even though I was rooting for the Buccaneers that game, even though I picked the Rams to win, I very much dislike. I won't use the hate word, Jalen Ramsey, a lot. So I'm rooting for the 49ers this week. But yeah, so that was a great game. I mean, all 4 of these games this weekend were phenomenal. That's an understatement. Yeah. But let's go on to the other NFC.
One thing real quick. I want to say one thing about the Brady almost comeback. I think if he would have completed a comeback, that would have been probably better than his at least 3 Super Bowl wins.
Oh, that defense, yeah, 100%.
It would have been that would have been one of his greatest wins of all time, or greatest comebacks of all time.
All the injuries too.
Yeah, with the injuries, how the game was going. If Brady would have completed that, they would have had to make a documentary off that game alone.
I mean, that like I'm saying, that Mike Evans, what was it, 50, 60-yard deep ball. That right there basically said, like,
I'm still here.
Yeah. He's not playing around.
Yeah, for sure.
So definitely. But actually, last side tangent, because you said it. I do think Brady returns for one more season. One more. I don't think he's gonna drop it like that. But we could talk about that definitely in more depth at another time.
Something I gotta say on that real quick. He did talk about how his wife and his kids deserve for him to be a father and a husband. Yeah. Right.
Good family
from him. He had one of the best careers and his best years in his career. Led the league in touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, all that stuff's fluctuated with how much they let him throw the ball. But he did. He did.
Shout out to Byron.
Yeah, he did it.
So. But I saw something that I think Gerald McCoy came out and said. He said he don't know what Brady's gonna do, but he prays that he lets it go one more time so we can give him a correct send off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of like a
farewell tour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Yeah. But I don't think Brady cares about that.
He doesn't. He said he doesn't even want it, but I think he returns for one more. I think he understands that he has one more left in him. But I think he returns. You don't, which that's fine. But we can get at it definitely another time. Though.
Sure.
But let's go into the other NFC matchup game. Another great game. Probably the worst out of the 4 games, but definitely still an amazing game, especially those last couple of minutes. 49ers, Packers. Give me your takeaways.
Honestly, bro, I'm gonna keep it real. I did not watch that game. Not because I didn't want to watch it. It's because I was a little busy that night. But I did see the ending. I got the overall perspective of it from highlights and just watching, people were saying. The 49ers, once again, find a way how to win. And it goes down to the third phase of football, special teams.
Yep. And
it took advantage of poor special teams by the
Packers. Had the worst ranked special teams in the NFL.
Which is so crazy. Out of all things, that just gives credit to Kyle Shanahan as a coach because he found a way. Defense and special teams. Now, Jimmy G has still yet to win you a playoff game. He's going to do it eventually. If you want to go,
he finds a way to win them.
Yeah, I don't know how, but he's still yet to win you a playoff game off the strength of him. But Deebo Samuel's played great. I don't think Kittle did anything for real, but his presence was felt. I guess
he had actually a couple great plays towards the end of the game.
Yeah,
he did have one play notably in the beginning. I think it was in the first half where Jimmy G started the game. I think 0 for 5 or 0 for 6 if memory serves me correct. And Jimmy G threw an absolute dart in the middle of the field. If Kittle would have caught the ball because he got him in stride because he ran a deep post route, he would have had a touchdown. Just run another 20 yards.
Yeah,
Kittle dropped the ball, and it was like you can't ask for a better pass. Like it was early in the game. It was on 3rd down, and Jimmy just threw an absolute dart to him, and Kittle dropped it. But Kittle made plays towards the end of the game to advance the ball and keep them in the game.
Yeah, for sure. He showed up when it mattered most. I think they're banged up though. Debo's banged up a little bit. Kittle is, and so is Trent Williams. Defensively, Fred Warner had himself a day. Like
Armstead and those boys got after him,
man. But it just goes back to I saw a couple plays where Rodgers was just forcing it to Adams. I mean, it was literally like the last play that he was double covered. That I was like 3 minutes left in the 4th, I believe.
Just a safety blanket.
He had Alan Lazard running across the middle of the field wide open.
Yep, right there.
And he just literally forced it to Devontae. Like, you look at Rodgers, and I think he's a great regular season player, quarterback, whatever. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's an MVP, so I'm gonna win it this year again. But
I'm disappointed. I've never been more disappointed. Except
what he's like, and I said it on TikTok. He's like the James Harden of football.
Yeah, he is. I mean, phenomenal regular season.
Regular season.
MVPs.
Right? MVPs. Future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, first ballot.
Your team was 1 seed. You know what I'm saying with the Rockets. But I mean, I know he ran into a buzzsaw in the Warriors, but you were up in a lot of those series. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, and you came up
27 missed threes.
Short. Yeah, I mean stuff like that. And it goes back to Rodgers. I mean, you're the favorite in all these games, and you come up short. Right, I mean, you can't beat the 49ers in the postseason.
0-4 versus them.
I mean, it's just Rodgers is I don't know, man. I mean,
so does the 49ers get the Rodgers rate?
I don't know, bro. I mean, and you look at this team and how they're constructed. I mean, he wanted these players in place. He wanted to bring back Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb hasn't really been done anything this season.
Yeah, but he's a safety blanket. Yeah, they're familiar with each other.
I get it, man. It's your last ride, but I mean.
One last choke.
Oh my goodness, bro! Like, you're too good. You're elite, man. Like, this is why I say guys like Patrick Mahomes will be better than you when it's said and done. I think Josh Allen's gonna have a better career than when it's all said and done because I think
they're gonna. Debatable. And look, but just because the AFC is so loaded with great young talent,
it is.
Quarterback position from Mahomes to Allen to Burrow to Lamar to
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, to possibly Trevor Lawrence,
Mac Jones,
Mac Jones,
all the young guys.
I mean, it's oh my god, the AFC in terms of quarterbacks is loaded.
It's stout.
So it's. I mean, Mahomes is always going to be 1A or 1B, but everyone else can trickle up and down from there.
Yeah,
But
so we're going to cool it on Josh Allen for sure, but Patrick Mahomes definitely. Like, if Patrick Mahomes wins another one this year, bro, like he's heading that way. I mean, like he has the hardware. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. He's already MVP, so. Like I said, don't know what happens to Rodgers after the season. He might retire. He might go to the Steelers. He might go to Broncos. I don't know. Might go to the Bucks. Who knows?
And that's another topic. We can talk about another time.
But I'm disappointed in the Green Bay Packers for sure.
Yeah, this is the most disappointed I've ever been in Aaron Rodgers in my entire life of watching him and growing up because, I was a big Brett Favre fan growing up, and then Rodgers came along, and I was a big Rodgers fan. Even though I'm not a Packers fan, a lot of people like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's a hell of a
one
player.
of the greatest quarterbacks of our generation. But I've never been more disappointed in him until yesterday. He didn't even play bad. The thing is, he didn't. But he didn't do enough.
He just didn't excel his play.
Exactly. And the thing is, a guy like Jimmy G can get away with doing enough without doing too much.
Because he's not asked to.
Exactly. And that's fine. That's why Kyle Shanahan knows how to game manage a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo. Let him make the throws when it's necessary and whatnot. I didn't foresee the 49ers winning this game in any circumstance. Because
I don't think anybody did.
Because I'm like, Green Bay, forget even being the better team. Just you're in Lambeau Field, in the snow. This is a game you have to win. Like, you're coming off a bye week. You get well rested. They just came off and played a tight game with the Dallas Cowboys. Emotional game. You should win this game. But, I don't think Matt LaFleur's on the hot seat. 13-3, or I guess 13-4.
He's been 13-4 these last two seasons.
Yeah. Well, 13-3 the other two seasons, and then
Jesus
there was
Christ,
it was 13-3, 13-3, and I think 13-4 because there was an extra game this year.
Yeah.
So he's phenomenal. I'm not getting on to him really, but that team just fell flat on their face, and that's really all I have to say about that 49ers team and the Packers. But
and Green Bay and Matt LaFleur said they knew who to plan for. They knew the 49ers were going to beat the Cowboys, so they spent extra time planning for them before the game even started. Because they just knew how well coached of a team they were, how prepared they will be for that game against Dallas. So you knew who you were going to play, and you still came out there and couldn't deliver.
Yeah,
so
it's just disappointing, But shout out to Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers for getting that job done.
Yeah,
like I said,
sure.
we both predicted the Packers to win, so we both lose on that end of the deal. But yeah, shout out to Deebo Samuel and that team, man. Elijah Mitchell, all of them. They all balled out when they were asked to. But we're going to transition into the AFC now. We're going to talk about our division rival and the Tennessee Titans losing to the Cincinnati Bengals. He actually had the Bengals winning. He thought it was going to be 24-20, if memory serves me correctly. Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty pulled it out. I had the Titans winning the game, so that's an L on my part. But I was damn near right on the score. I said I predicted 13-19 last week, and score ended up being 16-19. But Darian, give me your thoughts, takeaways, man. Bengals beat the Titans.
This is like the opposite side compared to the Rams. When you sell out on a team for 1 year to make a Super Bowl run, and it doesn't bode well for you, right? You bring in guys like Julio to boost up your offense. And Julio was...
They brought in Bud Dupree also.
Bud Dupree. The defensive line was swarming. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, they did.
That
9
defense
sacks.
had... Okay. You have 9 sacks. No, coming to this game, right? If I told you if the Tennessee Titans had 9 sacks and Joe Burrow didn't throw a touchdown, he threw an interception, what would you think would happen?
Oh, I'd be like, Titans run away with this game at home. They got held to 19 points. They win this game.
So... The defense played good, which was surprising, but you called it, Bray. You said the defense was going to show up. Both defenses played good, but you called that.
Yeah, I called it.
I thought it was going to be like the offenses were going to, get in the groove. But, the Titans, man, it all fell back on Ryan Tannehill, dog. He's terrible.
Yeah,
he's garbage.
You're not winning a Super Bowl with this guy. They're going to have to try to trade him this offseason if they even can move him.
If they can. He has a lot of money tied into him, but he's bad.
Yeah.
Right when momentum was starting to switch into the Titans' favor, that Foreman run, and then on the next play, he can't recognize the cat blitz from Hilton, and he throws an interception. Don't get me wrong, he had some good plays. That dot to A.J. Brown was an impressive throw.
It was.
But, you're turning the ball over for, just for no reason.
Stupid,
your first throw of the game to Jesse Bates, interception.
Yeah, you put the ball in a horrible position for Julio to go and try to even make a play.
Yeah, then the last ball, you force it across the middle to the field to a dude that's triple covered.
Yeah, 2-3 guys on him.
And I'm not blaming Mike Vrabel, because I think Mike Vrabel had a great game plan. It's just Ryan Tannehill is he's incompetent, man. He's just not that guy. He is what he is. He's a solid guy. He's no Matt Stafford. He's not going to come in and change the team.
No.
He's just
He's just an average quarterback. That's all he is.
And he's taking advantage of a terrible division. You know what I'm saying? Like the AFC South is terrible.
Great team around him the last couple of years.
Yeah, and then and it's hard to ask for Derrick Henry to go for $150 with a steel plate in his foot.
And he had screws in his foot too.
Yeah, I mean, like you can't ask for that. I mean, guys like AJ Brown played good. You probably would want a little more from Julio because
I think he had like 6 for 60 something.
Yeah, but
I mean, whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, the defense played their part. 9 sacks. Joe Burrow didn't throw a touchdown. He threw an interception. And it came out to a field goal. Yeah. I mean, if you just play smart, be a game manager, you win that game.
Yeah, they win that game after. Yeah. But I want to actually give myself, now that you kind of mentioned it, a little shout out to myself. Mm-hmm. I can't recall the date whenever Julio was officially announced and traded to the Tennessee Titans this offseason. But I had made a video saying, like, Jaguar fan reacts to Julio getting traded to the Titans. And I had a lot of Titans fans, obviously, in my comments blowing me up. And they were all like, you sound stupid, like, you don't know what you're talking about. But all I said the entire video was, I know Julio's a great player, but I understand he's been injured the last couple of years, and he had some injuries this year. And I literally said, I'm just not afraid of him. Like, I understand his talent. I understand him next to A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry. But I'm like, that doesn't, like, intimidate me as a Jaguars fan. Like, I'm not worried about having to see Julio twice a year. Like, I was like, he is what he is now. He's not an elite receiver anymore. No. And I was just talking like this, very transparent. I wasn't being, completely biased in my take, saying like the Jaguars are so much better than the Titans. I never said that. I just said that I don't fear Julio Jones like that anymore because he's not 2016 Julio Jones anymore. Yeah. And right on schedule this year, Julio Jones is not.
I mean,
Julio
how many
Jones
games
anymore.
did Julio play this year? Like maybe 4, 5?
I think like 6, 7, but I mean, I want to look real quick. But point is, though, I mean, you're right. Bengals won this game because they created turnovers, even though they allowed Joe Burrow to get 9 sacks. But it just goes to show that Ryan Tannehill really and truly is just
he's holding them back.
Not that guy.
He's holding them back, dog. Like,
he played in more games than that.
How many games he played?
He played in 11. Damn.
11? I don't remember him playing that much.
I do not remember him playing because he's 3 catches in almost every single one of these games. 2 and 3 catches. That's why.
Did he might have let those games.
He only had one game over 100 yards this year, and that was versus Seattle in overtime.
Yeah, that was at like week 3, or week 2.
Yeah, it was. But otherwise, he was a no-show all year. And then versus Cincinnati, Julio was 6 catches, 7 targets, 62 yards. Finished the season off 434 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, that's very wild.
That is LaVisca Chenault.
And they're talking about trading him this offseason. But I mean, the Titans got to look themselves in the mirror. I mean, as a Titans fan, I'll probably feel kind of like not worried.
We knew Ryan Tannehill wasn't good. Yeah,
but you have the 1 seed, and this season kind of just flopped. I mean, so. Next year, I mean, like I said, they're going to be the top dogs next year again because
they're still going to probably win the AFC South again. They probably will.
Outside of the Colts might make a run for it, but I doubt
not with Carson Wentz. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. But I think both of us, shout out to Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty.
Yeah,
man, that's awesome to see the Bengals doing what they're doing.
I told you it reminded me of the 2017 Jaguars, man.
You just said last week that the 2017 Jaguars.
For some odd reason, man. I mean, the last week we saw them get into a game where they put up some good points and looked fun doing it against the Raiders, right? The week before last. You can kind of compare this to the Steelers win for us. But this one, you see them go out there and win a slugfest, or like a hard fought battle.
Buffalo, like when we have Buffalo's in the wild card game.
And it was a field goal game, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
No, awesome for them, man. All right, last game. The best football game I've ever seen in my life. Briefly said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. Was the best football game I'd ever seen in my life. Best weekend of NFL football I've seen in my life. Bills versus Chiefs. Final score was 42-36 in overtime. Kansas City wins the coin flip because I guess heads is invincible for whatever reason. Give me your thoughts.
Man, it's a lot to talk about in that huge overtime game.
Let's talk about the last couple of minutes.
Let's talk about the fourth quarter.
Yeah, let's talk about the fourth quarter in overtime, really.
Tyreek Hill is that man. He is the cheetah. He is that dude. I made a post on TikTok talking about like who was the most dynamic duo skill position wise in the postseason. And I said it was Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Other people were saying, it's George Kittle and Debo, it's Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
I think you made a case for for Kittle and Debo only because of Debo's running ability.
Yeah, for sure.
On top of everything.
But I'm going with what was most proven.
Yep.
They've been there. Super Bowl champs. I'm going with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. And then that last minute in the overtime, you saw it. I mean, the drive to go into overtime, I mean,
two plays,
which was a great call by Eric B. and Andy Reid. I mean, you dump it to Travis Kelce, you dump it to Tyreek Hill, which the Buffalo Bills had no clue how to stop. Like they didn't know it was coming. They thought they were going to try to do a deep shot first play.
So ridiculous.
So they playing well far back. They basically do like a forward screen, right? A little dump off. It's an extra I don't know the number, but I would say about 20 yards, right? So now they're getting in field goal range. You can feel it. Then, the next play, they do a nice little slant to Travis Kelce. They're in field goal range. Buckner ties it up. So
when the coin flip go down and Kelce gets that game-winning touchdown.
Yeah. I do want to say about overtime. I'm still a fan of the overtime. I don't want it to be college rules. I think that's ridiculous.
I don't like college rules. A lot of people do, but I don't like college rules.
I don't think in the NFL, it's a pro sport. It's grown men, right? I don't think that you should have to baby the NFL. Like, if it's a field goal, for sure, you get the other position side, right? But if it's touchdowns on the board, that's game.
Stop them. Stop them, yeah.
You're the number one defense.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? You had opportunity before overtime to kick it in to fill the play and make them return it at least, to knock some more chunk off the time off the clock. So, yeah, I mean, shout out to the Bills. I mean, Gabe Davis had a hell of a game. Stephon Diggs didn't do nothing. Could you
imagine an over-under on someone putting $1,000 on him over 3 touchdowns? Could you imagine what that buyout was? I don't even.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can say what you want about the Chiefs defense, man, but with that offense, they're never out of it, dog.
Yeah,
they're like
sucks. Honey Badger had to go down early.
It does suck. That I wouldn't say their secondary's bad. No, my bad. Their corners aren't bad. That back end is terrible.
Yes, horrible.
That's what fails them. Sorensen is awful. Like, he is ass. Like, he is bad, man. So you have him back there with whoever else they had. I don't know why they don't put Thornhill back there, but anyways, that's different. So that secondary is gonna be cheese. So you just gotta really hope that you can stop them defensively, and the Bills couldn't do it enough times. So.
Yeah, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer did not show up when they needed it the most, especially in that back end.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising. They're all pro safeties, man.
Yeah, and look, they're still great safeties. They're good ball instincts. They're good guys, but
easier said than done.
Yeah, but come on, man, 13 seconds. And before I have 2 questions for you, and I'll address this after I kind of talk briefly about the game. I want to ask you about that taunting call or the no call when Tyreek Hill did the peace sign on that touchdown. People were like, well, that's like Tyreek made that rule because they made that rule because of Tyreek, and then also with the whole kicking it out of the back of the end zone or squibbing it or whatever. But no, I couldn't believe what I was watching the last 2 minutes of the game. It just after Josh Allen went down and took the first lead at the very end of the game, and then Patrick Mahomes came right back down and hit it with Tyreek. Or, right, it was Tyreek? Yeah, it was Tyreek.
That slant,
Yeah, and then it went, however long on that distance.
50 yards, something like that, yeah.
When Josh Allen had a minute and 8 seconds or so, I was like, damn. The Bills defense let him down. I'm like, I don't think Josh Allen goes down and gets this after... Because he already made the heroic effort. He already won them the game. Yeah. And then his defense blew it, so I didn't see him doing it. And then when he did it to Gabe Davis, I was like, oh my God. But I was like, wait, 13 seconds. I'm like, it's too much time for Mahomes. And then obviously, we talked about it. The Tyreek Hill dump off. Then the Travis Kelce. Buckner gets them into overtime, and then, they win the coin flip. I do want to say, though, with the overtime, I understand the whole, your defense should stop them. I understand that rationale, but no, every team should at least get one opportunity with the ball. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm not saying do college rules, but let's say both teams go down and score a field goal, or both teams go down and score a touchdown, or whatever. Then it's okay. Next person to score wins. Then that's what it should.
Then that could be viewed as not being fair.
But I get it, because then the first team that doesn't get it, they don't know if they're going to do 3 or 4 downs, because if they're at 4th and 5, they're like, well, I'm backed up in my 30, but if the other team gets it and they go down and kick a field goal, then they win it. Yeah. So both ways, there's never going to be there is no college rule, the rule I just said, or the rule that's intact right now that's going to be perfect. Everyone's going to argue and be like, there's something wrong. There's an advantage and disadvantage to everything. That's just my take on it. But I do want to say, though, I'm glad that the refs, because I blatantly saw it, when Tyree got that touchdown line. I'm like, he just threw out the peace sign. Like, that's taunting. But I'm glad they didn't call it, because you cannot call that kind of call in that moment with the magnitude of everything on the line. I'm glad the refs held back, regardless if they saw it or not, which I'm sure they did. I'm glad they didn't pull that flag and take that touchdown away, because, like I said, the magnitude of that play, you cannot call that kind of taunting. But then when it comes to the kicking the ball off with 13 seconds left, I agreed with kicking it out of the back of the end zone. I know there's people like, no, you take the short kick, you kick it 40 yards down the field and take 2-3 seconds off the clock to make sure that they can't. But I agree with letting him take it at the 25. That's on your defense for playing 30, 40 yards back and allowing Tyreek Hill to get that kind of space and coverage. I agree with Sean McDermott or whoever on special teams called that, to have them kicking out of the back of the end zone. That is putrid defense to allow that to happen in 13 seconds. 50 yards in 13 seconds is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Leslie Frazier, I don't know what his mindset was going into that 13 seconds. I thought he might have thought they were going to try to do deep shots.
Everyone knew they weren't going to do a deep shot.
I'm not sure. I mean, they had, 3 timeouts? 2 timeouts?
3 timeouts. You're not taking a deep shot.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's just situational football. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's blame on that. The players look like that whole drive.
They look clueless.
Well, really, I think they might have thought they won.
Oh, dude, after Josh Allen got that touchdown to Gabriel Davis, Sean McDermott and them were jumping up.
Yeah,
I thought that they won too. Yeah, I thought that was it, basically.
Yeah, I think that team kind of like, the mindset wise might have just, I'm not sure, bro, because like it seems like they were all just unbalanced since then. Like they were just off their game. Like
could have been.
Yeah, like that they drive on the field to get overtime, you know what I'm saying, blah blah blah. But even in overtime, the defense looked bad. Yeah. Like they're just moving the ball effortlessly. Like, I mean, wasn't Mahomes like probably like only had like 2 incompletions, like an extra 138 yards and something like that? And like,
I know there's 25 points combined. I'm talking about like the last 2 minutes, but I don't know the numbers off the top of my head.
I'll see if I can find it, bro. But he was like godly, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, bro, like how do you let that happen in that time frame? And you're supposed to be the number 1 defense. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let's see. It probably doesn't have it.
The Mahomes overtime numbers.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
But anyways, regardless of the fact, I mean,
he's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's phenomenal in the Bills. I mean, it's unfortunate. And I like how Josh Allen came out and said that if he was on the other side, he'd be cheering too. Like he doesn't.
Oh yeah, of course.
And also going back to like talking about overtime, but the Chiefs tried to make it a rule after they lost the 2019 AFC Championship to the Patriots.
Yeah,
they said,
you blame them?
Can we basically give both teams opportunity to score a touchdown?
Correct.
And that rule got vetoed by NFL teams and NFL. Well,
now it works in their favor.
And like fans can't complain. Like the Chiefs tried to make a rule change and they said no. So I mean,
because I think a lot of people at the time agreed, like it's not fair that Tom Brady gets that ball and just gets to end the game when it's like Patrick Mahomes probably would have won that game.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it right now. It says Patrick Mahomes after the 2-minute warning in overtime. And in overtime, he was 10 for 13.
Oh my God.
188 yards, 2 touchdowns with the 157.9 passer rating.
That's a perfect passer rating.
Yeah.
That is
insane.
So we're witnessing the GOAT in the making. Another GOAT, we'll say. Well, still too early to say, but we'll just say another GOAT in the making.
Man, this dude, nothing can stop this man but an injury. Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the NFC and AFC championship games now too, and then we'll kind of that'll be wrapping it up for this week's podcast. But we're gonna start in the AFC. You're gonna talk about the Bengals and the Chiefs. I think I said it earlier, but Patrick Mahomes has never played a road playoff game. We all thought that this was going to be the year. Since Tennessee had the 1 seed, we thought, okay, this is going to be the year. We see Mahomes not play a playoff game in Arrowhead Stadium, and sure enough, he still is going to play in Arrowhead Stadium. It is ridiculous. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
He's been in the league starting 3 years now. 4 years now, and he's still yet to play a road playoff game. It's phenomenal.
He's been to 4 straight AFC championships.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Bengals and Chiefs. Talk to me, man. Give me your winner at the end.
Man, you got Joe Burrow and the crew coming in the Arrowhead. It's hard to beat a team twice in the NFL. I mean, we saw it last week, the Buccaneers and the Rams. The Rams beat them. But it's really hard to beat a team twice in the same season.
Especially a team like the Chiefs.
Yes. I think the Chiefs will be motivated. they had that game in the bag in Cincinnati, but Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase just went unconscious. I like the Chiefs, man. I like the game to be 34-27, something crazy like that. I think Burrow and the crew will show up, but I'm going back to those 9 sacks, man. They faced a great defensive tackle in Jeffrey Simmons, and Chris Jones is phenomenal himself as well. They were getting after Josh Allen during the game. You know,
he's just able to evade pressure.
Yeah, and I don't think when you look into this game, you don't have to really take account for Joe Burrow's scrambling ability. He's not much of a dual threat guy like Josh Allen is. And we saw, they gave up 9 sacks. And if you give up 9 sacks and you're not moving the ball against this Chiefs team, you're not going to stop them. It's not going to be a 19-13 game. You're going to have to put up points against these boys. If you go down 21-7 early,
I think a couple, like the last week of the regular season was 34-28, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I think that was the final score. It was close.
And they came out slow against them too, but it took them to get a couple stops and stuff like that. And the Chiefs got a little conservative for some reason. But like, I'm looking at this game and I'm looking at the Chiefs.
It was 34-31.
Yeah. So I think it'll be similar to something like that, but that offensive line is looking very vulnerable right now. So and I know that. It all depends. Someone's got to double with Jamar Chase. Like, I'm willing to let T. Higgins and Taj Boyd beat me. I'm not gonna let one man have 264 on me. You know what I'm saying? So,
got to see if Honey Badger comes back.
Yeah, Chiefs got to figure that out, man. But it's gonna be an Arrowhead.
Yep,
it's loud.
27.
Give me the Chiefs 34-27, man.
Okay, I'm taking the Chiefs also, and I'm rooting for the Bengals. Nothing against Mahomes and the Chiefs. It's nice to see Joe Burrow in a team and a franchise that's been bad for so long finally get things going. I'm rooting for the Bengals. I'm taking the Chiefs, though. I'm not going to go as high as 34-27. I still think that there's going to be a couple more defensive stops, even though that there's going to be, that high-scoring offense at times, it looks like. I'm taking Chiefs 23-21. I think it's going to be a little more of a defensive battle than what we saw versus the Bills. Taking the Chiefs 23-21. Joe Burrow said none of these NFL stadiums are loud like they are in the SEC. He's going to have a rude awakening going into Arrowhead. That broke the world record for the loudest stadium in the world a couple years back. That crowd is intense.
I'll tell you one thing. Joe Burrow is really a weird dude when it comes to stuff like that. So I don't think this game's gonna phase him at all.
The whole sunglass thing. I think they look cool.
He's a weirdo, man. Like the quarterback, just his mindset, the way he carries himself. It's nothing
he's
bad
like a funny guy. He's just like a funny, weird guy.
Quirky. He's quirky. He's about his business, bro. Like he's like Tom Brady before Tom Brady got cool.
Exactly. Before he came to Florida and like everyone's like, Tom Brady's
Joe
cool.
Burrow is cool. Don't get me wrong, but Joe Burrow, you could tell like he's wired different, man. I don't think Arrowhead's gonna phase him, but
we'll see.
Yeah, I like his score prediction though.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little close. That's why I put 23-21. Chiefs come out on top, but I am rooting for the Bengals. Nothing against, like I said, Mahomes and them. I got nothing but respect, but it's just nice seeing a franchise and a team that's struggled for so long, kind of get things on top. Any last words you want to say about that game, or?
It's gonna be interesting to see what Eli Apple does.
Yeah.
I know NFL Twitter's gonna be on his head no matter if he does good or bad.
Yeah.
He's been saying about the Saints and whatnot.
Yep.
It's been wilding. So
my boy my boy was talking about Eli Apple the other day. So he's a big Giants fan, and he was just Eli Apple getting cooked on Twitter last night was so funny. He's had one nice play since leaving the Giants. And Eli Apple had tweeted on the 23rd, so this is just 2 days ago. I don't know which fan base I hate more. Probably the Saints, but it's close with the Giants. It's a toss-up. What a savage, man. Shout out to Eli Apple, man.
Shout out to Eli Apple, but I hope you don't get embarrassed. I hope you don't get embarrassed this... What, they play Saturday or Sunday?
I don't know.
Yeah. Hope you don't get embarrassed this weekend because they're going to be on your head.
Definitely. Mahomes going to do it to anybody. Yeah. Have we actually ever seen a Ramsey versus Mahomes? We have. Jags in 2018. We have. That was baby Mahomes before he broke up. That was his first breakout game that everyone was like, oh, shit.
No, his breakout game. Well,
that was when everyone was like, is Mahomes legit? And when they destroyed the Jags.
Yeah, that number one defense.
We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. Bad memories. All right. Now the last matchup we got before we kind of wrap up this podcast. 49ers and Rams. I want to hear your thoughts. Give me your winner at the end. Give me a score prediction and stuff at the end. 49ers versus Rams. Give it to me.
This is hard, bro. I want to hear yours first, actually.
Okay. I'll actually go first this time.
Yeah.
I have the 49ers winning, solely based off the fact that run the ball, control the tempo, and we've seen Jimmy G go and beat the Rams. Jimmy G's a game manager, but for some reason, this man plays lights out versus the Rams. You saw that game-winning drive a couple weeks back in that last regular season.
Yes.
I mean, Jimmy G looked like a Hall of Fame quarterback in that drive.
Dimes.
I mean, oh my God. And we're not going to be playing in like bad weather. It's not like Jimmy G has to go into Lambeau and play in like this cold snow. No, he's playing in SoFi. He's playing. Wait, Rams might have back-to-back games in SoFi. That's crazy. But point is though, 49ers are coming out on top. I'm confident in this one. I had the Rams winning last week. I knew that they were going to have Brady's number in that matchup with all the injuries. I got Niners on top. I won't say comfortably because Matthew Stafford and this team is going to be able to keep it relatively close. But I'm going to say that they win by double digits. I'm going to say that they come out and they win this game. Ooh. I'm not even kidding. 34-24. I think the Niners are going to come out and put something on, man. I'm putting my fist down. 34-24. Rams are going to lose at SoFi to the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan. You heard it here first.
Yeah, they lose that bad. Sean McVay might need to get his job reevaluated. I ain't going to lie.
The Niners are going to the Super Bowl. The Niners are going to the Super Bowl.
So they're going to make their second Super Bowl appearance and they're going to get a rematch.
In what, 3 years?
Yeah, it's going to get a rematch.
Oh, man. Chiefs and Niners rematch. That'd be crazy. But that's what I'm predicting.
Man, this game is so hard because I've counted out the 49ers all season. This is hard, man. This is really hard.
Oh, last thing is also I didn't mention it. The last time the Rams beat the San Francisco 49ers was on December 30th, 2018. The final score was 32-48. The 49ers are currently on a 6-game winning streak versus the LA Rams. Just put that into its proper perspective.
Dang, you put that in the air as well. This is hard, dog, because both teams are playing really good football right now.
Both are on teams that get hot right before the postseason and carry on to the most dangerous teams.
Yeah.
Both these teams.
I'll probably feel more comfortable about picking the Rams if they would have soundly beat the Buccaneers, but that last
couple of minutes,
fourth quarter was pretty wild, dog. Like they could have lost, and that's
it's also Tom Brady.
It's Tom Brady.
It's Tom Brady.
But how you let a game literally almost slip away like that, bro? I mean, it's just but. Man, it's in SoFi. They're going to try to reduce the 49er fans in there. They're trying to keep it only to LA residents.
Not happening. There's going to be a lot of San Francisco fans
for sure.
Out there.
Give me the Rams.
Okay.
All streaks must come to an end. McVay's going to get his bounce back. They should have won the last game of the season, but they just fumbled the game away.
That last drive when Jimmy G turned into a Hall of Fame quarterback. Yeah. Give me your score.
Give me Rams. I like them to win 24-10. That defense has been very good. Offensively, I have yet to see a solid performance all game around from the 49ers. Yes, they came out there and put up, 23 against the Cowboys? But that second 23. Half, they were a shell of themselves. They were they almost crumbled, And
they put up, 13 versus the Packers?
Yeah, and I'm looking, 13 against the Packers. I mean, you're going against another tough defense. I know you know this defense very well, but I'm looking at the Rams and going back to the Cardinals game. They faced a familiar division opponent. They knew what to expect for them, and they came out there and beat them soundly. I think it happens again this Sunday or Saturday, whenever they play. I like the Rams to get the monkey off their back. I like for Aaron Donald, Von Miller to get after it. OBJ's been playing better football now. He's been showing himself Cooper Kupp. We all know what he can do. And Matt Stafford, I mean, these last 2 games, Matt Stafford is definitely looked like the best quarterback on the field between both matchups. So I think that continues. I'm going with the better quarterback. Give me Matt Stafford and the Rams 24-10.
Okay. I do want to say one last thing, though, about that game is even if the Rams end up winning, which I hope that they don't because I'm going against the Rams just because of Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
If Ramsey and the Rams, it took me a second to say that because I was trying to find out how to not like stumble on those words.
Yeah.
Make the Super Bowl and they lose, it's going to be a little bit more of an emotional disaster for them and a little more of an emotional heartbreak for them to recover from losing in the Super Bowl since Ramsey's already been to an AFC Championship game before in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So that'll make me feel good knowing that, Ramsey has to sit and cry and, whine a little bit more and has a broken heart. But I'm very confident in the Niners winning this game. Like, I think that the Niners go in there and handle business. They have the mental
toughness.
They have the mental toughness to go in there and beat them. And when you know a team like the Jaguars, just even in Indianapolis, always play the Colts well. It's just they've always been that way.
Sometimes you just got a team number. It happens.
Yeah, it's just you're familiar with each other like that. And I think this is just one of those cases. I think Jimmy G and them are confident. It's in a good dome. They beat them in SoFi.
Yeah.
Like, so I got the Niners taking care of business 34-24.
Man, it'd be tough, man. I mean, I think this. You say the Super Bowl will hurt the Rams more, but I think it'll hurt them more if they don't make it.
I do too, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of because the expectation is Super Bowl or bust for them, right?
Yeah,
if they don't make it, it's like after everything that we did to build this team, if they get there and they lose, that's a little bit more of a moral victory for them, right? They still got there, they were able to get there, but I just want to see Jalen Ramsey in tears and just crying his heart out.
You got a strong
taking his helmet off and just bang it down on the sideline. And who was it this past weekend that got called for the slamming their helmet down on the field and got called for a penalty?
I'm not sure.
I forget the game. It's going to come to me as soon as we're done with this. But the point is, though, I just want to see Jalen Ramsey just go home and go vent on Twitter and explain how when he got burned for 180 yards, the game wasn't lost by him, but it was lost by
doing that.
Yeah, whatever happens. I just want to see Jalen Ramsey upset, and then I'll make my day. So,
yeah, I got the Rams winning soundly 24-10.
We'll see.
Closing thoughts, though. Unless you got anything else to say.
No, man. I just think it's going to be another great weekend of football. I think these are two great teams. We get to see a good, fun, young, and up-and-coming team in the Bengals who might be legit. We're going to have to see, even though they've definitely proven their worth. Chiefs, we know what they are. They're all-time great, dynasty in the making still. 49ers, they're a very, 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 very good team. And then the Rams, super team. They win it all in this year. I think it's going to be another great weekend of NFL football.
All right, for sure. I agree with you. It's going to be another great week. There's going to be a lot of good games to see. A conference championship week. Give me your hot take, and I'm going to give you mine.
Hot take, man. Jimmy G throws over 300 yards on this Rams team. I know Jimmy G's a game manager. Jimmy G's throwing 300 plus.
All right, so give me a hot take for the AFC as well.
Oh, AFC hot take then?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to say a hot take though because both these teams they know who they are, but I guess I say Tyreek goes 200 plus on that's what I'll say. I'll say Chiefs go Tyreek goes 200 plus on Cincinnati. And yeah, and then I have Jimmy G throwing 300 plus on the Rams defense.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
All right, what's your hot takes?
My NFC, I think for the conference championship versus the 49ers and the Rams, I think Aaron Donald really controls the game. I got him having one of the best games of his career. I think around 3 sacks maybe. And he's the main reason why they can't move the ball because his effectiveness on the field is just too much to handle.
Okay, what about in the AFC?
I think if the Bengals win, it'll be because of Joe Mixon. I think he's still the unsung hero a lot of times with the Cincinnati Bengals this season. And I think he's, it would be nice to see a running back kind of,
dictate
an outcome of a high scoring game.
That'd be really nice.
They lock in, the Chiefs will say, F it. We're not going to let Jamar Chase beat us. We're going to let other guys beat us. And one of those guys, if they do win, it'll be because Mixon has a hell of a game.
So tell me this then, because I want to get it. 150. Give me the over under on Mixon. 150 scrimmage yards.
Ooh, scrimmage yards.
Scrimmage yards.
150 is a lot. God dog.
I want them to win with me.
I would say a little under. I would say around like 139.
So I'll give you the under.
Yeah,
okay.
Under, yeah.
Sounds
2
good,
tutties, 139 total yards. If they win, it's because of Joe Mixon.
Alrighty then. I like that prediction too. Good, actually good hot takes we got there. But
yeah, for sure.
Hey man, great talk as always this week. Another great episode of the Don't Overthink It podcast. This is the third week, I believe, in which we've recorded this. So got some great content coming out more so in the future. Hopefully these all-star predictions were actually correct. Well, you guys will be hearing this podcast the same morning and afternoon. So hopefully some of these we nail on the head. I think most of these we did. And then same thing with the playoffs. I think that we did a really good job breaking this down though. But go follow my guy ChillTakes Darian on Instagram and on TikTok at ChillTakes. And then if you want to go find me, Brett James, on Instagram and on Twitter at TheBrettJames1. You can also find me on YouTube at Brett James as well. You'll see me there. But thank you guys again for tuning in for another week of the Don't Overthink It podcast. Don't overthink it.